here's the reality. If you are the type of person who's a leftist, who's like the American military is imperialist, you're right. But how do you dismantle that? And you know that because somebody taught you what imperialism is. You know that because somebody sat down and explained to you dialectical materialism. They explained to you how imperialism is the highest form of capitalism. They explained to you how the United States is the global hegemon. You had to have a lot of things taught to you because you weren't born knowing them. But a lot of people are born into a society that tells them joining the military is honorable. Joining the military is how people will appreciate you. Joining the military is how you show that you care about your community and you do your duty. A lot of people are taught something completely different. They're programmed something completely different. And so when somebody goes through all of that and then they come home and they realize what I'm doing over there was wrong. And those wars were wrong. And how do I know? Because I'm a veteran who did it. When they learn the same things that you were taught through a screen, but then they come home and they dedicate themselves to fighting against it, that makes it more likely that we could stop it, not less. And any movement that says to those people, fuck you, you did this thing, I excommunicate you, that's not leftism. That is lifestyleism. That is interpersonal shit. That is baby shit. It's baby shit. The left is about redemption. The left is fundamentally about people turning away from doing harm and turning toward good. It doesn't erase the harm that's caused. I'm not saying that you should tolerate the IOF people that are doing genocide. The precondition is that the person condemn the actions of the American state for which they did. That's step one. The way we fight back is by taking veterans and having them say, ignore the people that call the people who stand against these war cowards or pacifists. They're right. What I did was wrong. If you don't agree with me, you're fundamentally a lifestylist and you're not serious, period. If you don't believe in redemption, you're not on the left. If you don't believe people can switch to our side and stop from doing harm to actively fighting against it, you're not on the left. The people that are claiming veterans are so evil, you guys are the same people that are abolitionists. You're like, we shouldn't have any prisons. So you think the child molesters, rapists, and murderers who do so in this community should be walking free, but the veterans who come back to this country and fight against the wars should be excommunicated from our movement? Make that make sense. If you believe in rehabilitative justice, if you believe in abolitionism, and then on the same breath, you're going to be like, oh, I hate all veterans. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The U.S. speedruns fucking over vets each generation. They entice with the offer of more than they would get as a worker. They do horrible shit, get shredded physically and mentally, and the system does everything take it all back like every other entitlement that is not offered to the donor class. It's not right. They don't protect our freedom. They enable the cheap treats everyone to lose their shit over if they couldn't have it. I'm not saying that serving the military is good. I'm talking about building a coherent political movement that actually can win. And if you don't recognize that every single leftist political movement in history had a large cohort of veterans, why do you think the Bolsheviks won in the Soviet Union? It was mutinies. There was a huge naval mutiny. The Soviets made a movie. It's called Battleship Potemkin, about a naval mutiny. I don't know if I'm even making sense. Am I even making sense, chat? Because it's like the Graham guy who's running for Senate in Maine. He made a lot of mistakes in his life. He served in the military. America has an imperialist military. I think a lot of you didn't serve. I know a lot of people who have. And I am also 41. I remember what the propaganda was like right after September 11th. I remember how many people were forced into the military because it's the only way to get social mobility in this country. I'm not saying that it makes the war crimes okay. I'm just saying I know what causes it. Just like when somebody commits crime, if somebody goes out and commits a crime because of poverty, I understand that the root cause of the crime is poverty. Similarly, when someone goes and joins the military, I understand the reason why they're joining it isn't because they want to imperialize the third world or what other nonsense. It is the only avenue available for them to advance their life and get out of poverty.